SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Y'all sports with Cliff Furr. Wednesday morning, turn that dial, let it burn. From Brookhaven down through the back roads, every small town star gets a turn. Y'all sports with Cliff Furr. Can you feel it? Southwest Mississippi proud. Presented by Bank of Brookhaven and Toyota Brookhaven now.
Your teams, your town, your source, that's Y'all Sports, and this is Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Furr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Brandon Shamatara. Brandon, I'm trying to get somebody to learn that theme song and play it at open mic night at Magnolia Blues. You'll get free Y'all Sports merch if you do that.
Yes, come on.
Y'all Sports Radio is presented by Bank of Brookhaven and Toyota Brookhaven with additional support from Brandon Shamatara State Farm Insurance and Juan Seed Store. We can't thank those partners enough for their belief in Y'all Sports. We're recording in the studio of SuperTalk 102.1 FM in downtown Brookhaven, and Y'all Sports comes to you every Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk, Y'all Sports Radio, I should say. You can also listen to this episode and our archived episodes on demand wherever you get your podcast, whether that be the Apple Podcast Deck or on Amazon Music or on YouTube. You can find those previous episodes of Y'all Sports. The podcast went live last week, and that's made possible thanks to our friends at Juan Seed Store. We'll talk about them more later, but I can't thank them enough again for their support. Our first show featured Brookhaven High junior defensive end Derwin Fields, and last week we had a great interview with two-time national championship winning coach Malia Howard, the head softball coach there at Copiah Lincoln Community College. You can find those episodes and give them a listen. Brandon, it's hard not to be impressed with Coach Howard and what she's built in Wesson. I think the favorite part of her story that we went over last week was hearing her say that she didn't know she wanted to coach when she graduated high school. Her first thought was going into cosmetology. It just shows you don't have to have it all figured out when you're 18, right?
Hey, no doubt about it, Cliff. Yeah, I just want to put it out there for the public that you told one of the worst jokes I've ever heard you tell. It must have been in the moment, but when you said we're going to make some A-pluses on while we do hair, I just cringed in my seat. It was terrible. No, I'm kidding. Listen, Coach Howard, man, she just made me – I was so encouraged by the meeting with her and her interview. It made me want to be a better business owner. And I know that if I were still coaching, she would make me want to be a better coach just because of the effort, all the things that she puts into her program, her process, which we spoke so much about last week, and just a great job that she's doing there at Colin. I can't wait to get some tickets, go watch some games, and just see the excitement they have around Colin lady softball. And then as far as the question goes, having it figured out as an 18-year-old, no chance. I'll tell a funny story, Cliff. Whenever I graduated high school, I was destined for Northeast Community College. But to backtrack a little bit, Delta State had made an offer on signing day. They didn't really hold up to the offer that they offered, a month or so before, which is common in your Division II schools and sometimes even in junior college. And so on the day that I was supposed to report to Northeast, the night before, Delta State called and said, "Hey, we've got a full scholarship for you." And the reality is that we had some guys get hurt. We had some guys not show up for camp, and they had already been in camp a week before. And so, man, you talk about a confused kid. I didn't really have a lot of guidance from my parents growing up. And so at 18 years old, and I'm trying to determine where I'm going to spend the next years of my life, chasing a college football dream and chasing a degree, man, what a amount of pressure that I had on me in that moment. I'll tell you what I did, Cliff. I did not have it figured out. And any time of my life where I don't have things figured out, I drop to my knees and I say, God, I need some help. Because if I can't figure it out, I gotta surrender. And that's the way that I would say anyone who's 18 years old or above, even 20, 22 years old.
No, exactly right. Think about what Coach Howard said when she had to decide to leave Lawrence County for Colin, how gut-wrenching that decision was for her and how she had to seek the Lord in that. I'm with you, brother. I'm going to give you an amen. We'll pass the offering plate here in a minute. Y'all Sports is committed to telling the stories of Southwest Mississippi, Brandon, and on Y'all Sports Radio, we try to get more in depth with those stories that we hope you'll find more interesting. And today we're going to talk baseball. I have a deep love of football. Brandon played football in college. He coached as a high school head football coach. My first love in athletics is actually basketball, a sport that I coach as an assistant at the high school and community college level. But, Brandon, I'm just putting all that in there to say this. I'm not an expert on the game of baseball. I enjoy watching it, though. And I tell people all the time, I was the worst baseball player in Brookhaven Little League history. I was on a city championship team that represented a funeral home that's now our new city hall. Shout out to Hartman Harrigal Funeral Home. I started in right field every third game. It was a rotation of me, our current constable, Kelly Porter, and a kid that meowed like a cat. I won't say his name on the radio, but my teammates probably remember that. So I'm not going to tell you how to throw a breaking ball, okay? But I go and I watch the games, I listen to the coaches, and I feel like I've got a decent handle on baseball in Southwest Mississippi. Brandon, you grew up in North Mississippi. Tell me about your experience playing baseball growing up.
Man, I'll just be totally honest with you, Cliff. Growing up, we didn't really have the money in order to sign up for youth sports. I mean, it just wasn't there. And so I didn't play youth sports. I didn't play baseball as a child. And I feel like, and hopefully you agree with me here, if you don't put in the time as a youth, in your younger years in T-ball, on in the coach pitch and on, you're kind of behind the eight ball as it pertains to being competitive. Now, we'll talk more about this later about, just God-given athletic ability. But for a guy like me, I was just not talented enough for junior high baseball. And so when I didn't have the confidence to go out there and show my stuff, so to say, I just didn't play.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think baseball is a sport that's so hard to break into if you don't have a parent guiding you. And my son never played baseball because everybody knew how bad his dad was growing up. So my wife would be like, "Get out in the yard, throw the ball." I'm like, I don't want to expose him to the type of little league experience that I had. But look, one of my favorite types of stories, Brandon, is about late bloomers. Those are the guys that come into their own in their own time, guys or girls, right? Our guest on episode 3 of Y'all Sports Radio is a guy who fits that mold. Matt Newman is a redshirt freshman on the baseball team at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He's listed at 6'5", 205 pounds. He played high school baseball at Brookhaven Academy. He actually started his high school career at West Lincoln, later transferred to BA, and he signed with Southwest and graduated from BA in 2024. I was looking back at the 2024 all-area baseball team I did for our local paper here in Brookhaven. There were 23 guys that I picked for honors that year in total after the 2023-2024 school year. 1 guy signed to be a college cheerleader, 2 signed to play college football, and 10 signed to play college baseball out of that group. Matt's in that group, and his college career didn't start off like anyone would hope. He had to take a red shirt last year, and we're going to get into that when we talk to him here in a little bit. But a couple of months ago, back before Christmas, Matt signed with Louisiana Tech. He did that based off the work that he did in fall ball for the Bears. I can't wait to hear how Matt signed with the Conference USA level baseball program before he ever threw an official pitch in the community college level. Brandon, don't we love those stories of the late bloomers?
Oh man, so good, and I can't wait to hear about what happened and why he had the red shirt and all of that good stuff. Because the reality is when you put your mind to something like Matt has, you can accomplish your goals, man. And I tell people this all the time: the only thing stopping you from exceeding and excelling with your goals is in between your 2 ears.
That's
and
right.
It's a mindset, and so. Clearly, Matt had that mindset that he wanted to accomplish his goal, and guess what? Crazily, in an off season, he picks up a Division I offer.
Yeah,
that's outstanding.
I can't wait to hear his story. Matt's playing at Brookhaven Academy, and now Southwest Mississippi Community College is a great local success stories. Local success stories don't get much better around these parts than that of Bank of Brookhaven. 25 years ago, Bank of Brookhaven was founded to serve this community. That's what they've been doing since opening their doors back in 2000. At the heart of every decision made by Bank of Brookhaven is what's best for the people and businesses of Southwest Mississippi. Bank of Brookhaven is the official banking partner of Y'all Sports, one of our earliest supporters. At Bank of Brookhaven, it's all about you. We'll be back with Southwest Mississippi Community College redshirt freshman pitcher and Louisiana Tech baseball signee Matt Newman next on Y'all Sports Radio.
Welcome to Juan's Seed Store, your go-to spot for all your farming and agriculture needs right here in Brookhaven. Located at 636 Greenview Trail, we're much more than just a seed store. Need boots? We've got you covered with Durango, Rocky, Muddy, and Gator Wader brands. And if you're looking for style, rock and roll denim will keep you looking sharp while you work. We also carry durable key overalls and workwear. Shop with us Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Juan Seed Store, where we're so much more than just a seed store.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Give Sam Ballard a call at 601-669-5999 for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
All right, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio, and joining us in studio is Southwest Mississippi Community College pitcher Matt Newman. Matt, we appreciate you coming in, buddy, and we appreciate Southwest coach Jack Edmondson allowing you to be here. Matt, we talked about the season thus far. You guys are 1-0. You won 3-2 in 11 innings to start the season against Baton Rouge Community College last week. You threw 1 inning, struck out 1. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but this was your first official inning of college baseball after redshirting last season. Tell me about what kept you on the shelf and what had you redshirting in 2025.
Well, I started off, got back late in the year, sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right, I got out of Tommy John, had Tommy John in June, started off not thinking I was going to be able to pitch, but I was trying to come back in the spring and start pitching. And when I did, it was just like I didn't get back all the way in time. I couldn't throw a curveball until March. So they decided redshirt me. So I just gained a bunch of weight, started throwing a little harder, and I came back from there and threw my first college inning last spring. So,
yeah, in the spring, yeah. You pitched in fall ball. We're going to get to that and how that kind of opened up opportunities for you. So talk to me about the Tommy John. Did that happen post you signing with Southwest? Did that happen while you were pitching at Brookhaven Academy as a senior?
Yes, sir. It happened my senior year. I already signed with Southwest, and it happened in the playoffs my senior year.
It happened in the playoffs. So right there at the end of your high school career. Man, tell me about that, Matt. Do you remember the game? Do you remember the pitch where you knew something was wrong?
Oh, yeah. I popped it at Cathedral. I remember I was in the playoffs, and it popped on the mound, and I looked at Coach Spring, and I told him, I was like, I think I just tore my arm up. I need you to come get me out of the game. So I remember.
What was that? I mean, a lot of emotion, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's something, does it feel like everybody goes through that these days when it comes to Tommy John? Like, there's probably more guys you know that have had it than not, right?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I had it, it was definitely like you woke up and you saw how many people had it after you're going through surgery and the rehab and stuff. So
and talking to people and realizing, like, hey, I'm not the Lone Ranger here. Yeah. So where'd you do your rehab at?
Professional rehab with Courtney Watson, I believe.
Okay, and that got you back. But like you said, Tommy John's something you need a whole year to get over, really. So
yes,
you didn't pitch last year for the Bears, but I know Coach Edmondson was really excited to get you back. And we're gonna talk about your future with Louisiana Tech later. But I want to go back. To growing up in Lincoln County. Before I ever knew who you were, Matt, I knew your sisters, Morgan and Maggie, a couple athletes at West Lincoln. I watched them play softball. I watched them play basketball. I bet you were in the bleachers watching them play when you were a kid, right? Tell me about your sisters.
Yeah, I look up to my sisters. One of them's probably 24 or 25. She's a registered nurse at KDMC now, and the other one is she's kind of does her own thing. She's got a business degree, but she kind of looks to manage some of her boyfriend or husband now, some businesses and stuff. So
Yeah, and your sister that's a nurse, she worked at home. I remember she worked at Home Depot for years and years. I'm a former Home Depot part-timer myself, and
yes,
shout out to Ben Seals as well. Well, look, you grew up at West Lincoln. That's a basketball crazy place. Did you play basketball growing up?
Well, I did. I played in the 7th and 8th grade, but I didn't hit a growth spurt until about 11th grade, so it was just very.
And at that point, you probably already set your eyes on a baseball dream, right?
Yeah, I really didn't. I always dreamed of playing baseball at the next level, but I wasn't really big enough to until my freshman year of college, so it was definitely something.
But when you hit the growth, you're 6'5", right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so at 6'5", if I'm the coach of the basketball team, I'm looking around and I said, who is this?
Yeah.
He wasn't 6'5" last year. Come here, son, let's talk. What's it going to take to get you in a jersey to play basketball for us?
Yeah, my brother was 6'6". He graduated from BA. He's like you. He went through kind of a late growth spurt. And former BA coach Moochie Britt used to ask him every day, when you going to come out for basketball, but it never worked out. So talk to me about, I also know that you were a soccer guy playing soccer. Was soccer ever a thought for you, maybe something you were going to play in college, or was it just baseball?
Not really. I didn't like to run.
Well, that rules that out.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Were you a goalkeeper?
No, sir. I was a midfielder, so I did run. I just didn't really like to run in practice and stuff and get ready for it.
No doubt. Yeah, man. So, just looking back, the level of competition you faced at BA, one of your fellow signees, at Louisiana Tech, is from Columbia Academy. Tell us just about, like, your senior year. I know you guys went deep in the playoffs, had a tremendous career at BA. What about some of these guys that you faced on other teams or even on your team? Who are some guys that stand out to you?
In high school, I had a couple teammates who stood out because they really encouraged me and helped me get in the weight room and get bigger and stronger, and that was Trevor Fortenberry, Easton Boyd, who's at Southwest with me right now. Avery Griffin was one of the best shortstops I played with.
Wow.
But
yeah, Avery, I've heard great things. He's at Colin, he's a sophomore, and there are people that are saying, like, hey, Avery's the best fielding sophomore in the whole JUCO league. That's pretty lofty praise, right?
Yeah, he's very good. Last year he had a really good season. So,
well, look, talking about baseball and, like, Matt, what I think is so cool about your story is, like, this whole idea of you hit this growth spurt late. I don't want you to take any offense to this, but you're what I would call like a late bloomer, right? Like, there were people earlier in your athletic career that were like, oh, that guy's the man, and your time was coming. So tell me about growing up playing ball. Did you play travel baseball, or did you play rec league growing up? What was baseball like for a young Matt Newman?
I played pretty much year-round. In the spring, I played travel ball in the summer, and some seasons I played in the fall until I started playing soccer. So
yeah, and was it always pitching, or was it more hitting when you were younger?
I really didn't pitch until my 11th grade year. So.
Yeah, that's part of the story I think is so cool for you is you don't have a whole lot of, even though you got that injury that you got to come back for, but like we talked about, that's an injury that so many people deal with. You've thrown a lot less innings in your life. Don't you think sometimes they're kids that just, they get worn out by the game by going and pitching every single weekend, and they're on this travel ball team in the fall and this one in the spring? Like, it feels like, is that something maybe Louisiana Tech has seen in you, is you're a guy that you got so much more room to grow and so many more innings in you?
Yes, sir. I believe I have a projectability about me, but I don't know. Some people throw a lot. I feel like that would get definitely tiring throwing that much and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're a little bit fresher than some of those guys that, and I think that's probably something that Louisiana Tech saw and liked in you. Tell me about Louisiana Tech. For folks that don't know, they love baseball over there, right?
Yes, sir. It's a very, centralized fan base in Ruston. They set a bunch of the communities involved in it, and I love the coaches when I went on my visit there, and really just love the place and the environment. So
yeah, and it's big-time college baseball. They play in Conference USA. They play midweek games against people like Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Does that get you excited thinking about, like, hey, one day I'm going to get out here and I'm going to be throwing against SEC competition?
It definitely does, yes, sir.
Yeah, man, love that.
Well, and at Louisiana Tech, I mean, you look at all the schools that show up in the regionals and super regionals. There's always a Louisiana Tech in there somewhere, like your mid-major schools. And so you can accomplish your goals at a Louisiana Tech just like you can at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or one of those, because the thing that matters is who gets hot at the right time. That's right. And with guys like Matt, we know they're going to get hot, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, look, I loved when they signed you and they announced your signing, and what they didn't have any stats to put for you last year or anything like that. They were just like, hey, this guy's a good player and he's gonna fit in well with us here. Brandon was talking earlier about the level of baseball that you face against at Brookhaven Academy. If folks don't know, if they haven't watched any MAIS baseball, let them know. Give us an idea of like the types of teams like Columbia Academy. You guys were in the same district with them. Oak Forest. I mean, there's even like somebody like a smaller school like ASC. There's really no easy wins in that league, is there?
No, I catch a lot of crap about that at Southwest because
being a private school guy.
Kid.
Oh yeah.
I'm facing and at high school I faced Logan Buckley, committed to Southern. Trent Buckley, committed to Ole Miss. Logan Frichet was committed to D1 for the longest time. I think he's at Southeastern now. But we faced a lot of Division I arms out of high school. So
now you guys, when you were in there with that former district, I used to tell Randy Spring, a lot of times when people are describing tough divisions in sports, they'll say, "Oh, it's the SEC of this or the SEC of that." But that division you guys were in, and the fact that y'all played 3-game series, if you didn't have the arms, that last game could get ugly for you.
Yes, sir.
and so, man,
let me piggyback on that. So let's not lose sight of who is the number 13 team in the nation right now. And I know we're in South Mississippi, but Magnolia Heights and Chris McMinn. I mean, I know it's a little different there, right? And they have their thing going, and Chris has been successful for a long time. Shout out to Chris. His dad coached me in junior high football, and when I was coaching, he taught me how to cut a football field. Love that family to death. But has just put out SEC Division I baseball players time after time after time. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but if you guys have made it all the way to state, you probably would have faced Magnolia Heights in those years that you were there.
Yes, sir, we would have.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah, and as good as Columbia would be, they'd face Mag Heights and they'd be like, all right, here's another level.
Just a juggernaut, yeah.
There's levels to it all. Well, look, our friends at Toyota Brookhaven have added a couple new sales associates to their team, and if you're following them on Facebook, you've probably seen the news. A.J. McCullum and Ed Smith have joined the team at TOB in the past month. Ed's a former Brookhaven High standout wide receiver who also played at Southwest Mississippi Community College. So if you're a Bear out there and you're looking to buy a new or used Toyota from a former Bear, then go see Ed at Toyota of Brookhaven. AJ, Ed, Glenn Price, Corey Andrews, Dylan Castle, Hunter Franklin, Misty King, Tierra Stewart, and Jacob Waldrop. Those are all the sales consultants that are ready to earn your business at Toyota Brookhaven. Go see the difference at Toyota Brookhaven. And when we get back, we'll talk a little bit about the 2026 edition of Southwest Mississippi Community College Baseball, a roster that's stacked with local talent, with our guest, redshirt freshman pitcher Matt Newman on Y'all Sports Radio.
Welcome to Juan Seed Store, your go-to spot for all your farming and agriculture needs right here in Brookhaven. Located at 636 Greenview Trail, we're much more than just a seed store. Discover our extensive selection of plated dog collars and Garmin collar systems while you're here. Don't forget to grab your feed and treats for your furry friends. Shop with us Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Juan Seed Store, where we're so much more than just a seed store.
Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call Sam Ballard today at 601-669-5999. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
It's Y'all Sports Radio, and I'm Cliff Furr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host Brandon Shamatara. Brandon, my wife was listening to last week's episode, and she said I pronounced your last name at least 3 different ways. I took great offense to that, but I also probably could have been wrong, right?
Well, there's at least 200 more ways you can mispronounce it, so it's not your fault if you did, but I think you're right on most of the time. So
yeah, most of the time. Right, being right most of the time. Story of my life. All right, so we're joined by Southwest Mississippi redshirt freshman Matt Newman. We covered Matt's background in our last segment, and we'll talk later about the Bears. But Matt, we touched on your recruitment for Louisiana Tech, but do you remember the first time that Coach Edmondson let you know that, like, hey, you got a pretty solid Division I program right here that's interested in you?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tell me about when you first knew that La Tech was recruiting you.
Really, I think they reached out to me first. They reached out to me after they saw me at the sophomore showcase. I went as a redshirt freshman and pitched in front of all the Division I's there, and yeah, them and a couple other colleges reached out to me before I even got off the mound there, and it was definitely an experience there. It was awesome. So,
yeah, where was that held at?
It was at Hines Junior
Okay,
College.
Hines does that every year. They bring in sophomore showcase. Who were some of those other schools that you were hearing from?
The University of Kansas reached out to me. Ole Miss reached out to me. Mississippi State reached out to me. And a handful of other, like, mid-majors reached out to me.
Yeah.
Tell me this, before you went on the mound, did you, like, in your mind know, hey, I've had a really good rehab. I'm coming back from this. I can't wait to show my stuff, or was it a little bit of a surprise to you?
It was definitely a surprise because I've never pitched knowing and being like I was the man out there. I've always been behind great pitchers at Brookhaven Academy, and even at Southwest last year, I threw in inter squads, and I was just behind dudes that were already committed to D1. So it was it's definitely different for me.
Kind of a come-out party.
Yes,
I
sir.
like those.
Yeah, man, that's why telling your story I think is so fun and so encouraging, because people need to know that, like, hey, if your time is coming, your time is coming. You just have to be patient. You have to keep working. And I'm sure that in this redshirt year, you put in a lot of work to be. You talked about gaining weight. Tell me about how much weight you gained.
I graduated from Brookhaven Academy. I was around 6'4", 170 pounds, and I know by the spring of my freshman year, I was at 6'5". I was around 205 pounds whenever the season ended, so I gained about 20 pounds, 25 pounds.
You guys will see a photo of this on social media and all. We'll take a picture with Matt, but I'm not looking at somebody that put on 35 pounds of dad bod, all right? He's a good-looking, strapping young man.
Bro is solid. He is solid through the shoulders. Well, how'd you do that, Matt? Was it just lifting weights? Did you eat peanut butter, protein? I mean, I know how to gain weight, but my strategy is going to Taco Bell. Tell me how you gained weight the right way.
Well, in high school, I never really ate right. I didn't take anything seriously. So I went to a program like Southwest who had the tools and the resources and stuff to lift and gain weight. It was easier when I got there because I would sit up. I had great roommates. They would always take me to eat. We always ate with them. We sat in the room eating peanut butter throughout the night. So.
Like it was your job.
Protein shakes and things.
Yes, sir. In the dorms. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any dish from the Southwest cafeteria that you want to shout out that you think was big in your journey?
I think the country fried steak and gravy was really good.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
The folks in Summit are going to love to hear that. Their country fried steak getting a shout out here on Y'all Sports Radio. Well, look, you talked about your old high school teammate on the roster with you there in Summit, Easton Boyd. Boy, I'm excited to see Easton get a chance this year, Matt. He's the third-year guy, started his career at Colin. He's got a fun delivery where he's got a lot of moves. He's got elbows and legs moving. Tell folks about Easton and what you're expecting out of him this season.
I think he's going to have a great year this season. He's always been close to me since I moved to BA. Like I said, him and Trevor, they kind of took me under and they helped me get in the gym more, work out more. Me and him worked together, or him and I worked together all summer, and he was just a great inspiration to me. So
yeah, man, isn't it good to have teammates that lift you up like that, man? That's important, especially when you're at the college level where it's no longer as much. It feels like a job at times.
It's not a pastime.
Yeah.
And when you surround yourself with like-mindedness, then all you guys, one thing you picked up is, hey, I've got to work out more. I got to be specific about my training, and I've got to eat better. And all that, it wasn't just your idea. It was kind of like osmosis with your teammates, and you can tell that it definitely worked for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, look, let's run down the roster. There's a lot of local connections. You got Luke Simmons. He's another BA grad. He's a freshman on the team. You got Wyatt Garrett. He's from Weston. He's a freshman pitcher. Wyatt picked up the win last week, throwing 3 innings against Baton Rouge in an extra inning game. Caden Case, he's a Lawrence County guy. He's a freshman on the team. Drew Nelson, Brookhaven High grad. He's a freshman on the team as well. And there's a guy that I hear a lot about, another pitcher from North Pike, Dom Smith. He's like you. He's 6'5". I've been hearing great things about Dom so far in the preseason. What's he do well?
Dom's he's a great guy to be around. He's one of the best men I've met in my life. He's very, very good in everything he does. He takes everything seriously, never complains. He kind of just does everything well. He's a good pitcher. He's got a good fastball, got good off speed. He's gonna be really good.
Yeah, and he's 6'5", and he like you said, if he's top notch quality off the field, he's a guy you expect to get some big opportunities down the road, right?
Yes, sir. He will get opportunities. I'm confident of it.
Hey, tell us about the coaching staff at Southwest. I know we got Coach Edmondson and his assistant coaches, Derek Mount, Bryce Melton, and a guy that should be familiar to folks in Brookhaven, Brady Springs, which is Coach Springs at Brookhaven Academy's son. So what is it you like about the coaching staff there, and some good qualities overall?
Well, Coach Jack, he honored my scholarship even when he knew I couldn't pitch. After I told him I had surgery, I needed to have surgery, I came in, told him in person. He was like, well, that's fine. You're still going to have your scholarship. You're already here, and we're just going to rely on you to come back healthier after. And he was very, very kind to me the whole time I was there. Very fair coach. But Brady, Coach Brady, he's definitely helped me out a lot, because every time I pitched after surgery, it was just like ups and downs, and I had to talk to him about it. He helped me through them, said everything's going to be fine.
Tell us about the mental side of this. I mean, clearly you have the physical God-given abilities, but I know that coming back from an injury like this, some people go through depression and just worn out and can't really pick themselves up off the mat. Tell me about the mental side of it for you.
It was very mental coming back at first. When you got on the mound, you never really felt normal, like in rehab and stuff. And even now, I'm just now feeling normal again. So it's just, you just got to stick with it and do what you're supposed to do every day. Don't do too much. Don't do too little. So you just had to stick to something and do it every single day. And it was just.
I know coming back from an injury, I always had to be extra careful that I wasn't going too hard or trying too hard, because your mind's telling you, hey, I'm good. And for me, it was a knee, and I was like, man, I'm good. But then the end result is, hey, I've got to be really patient about my rehab and coming back out of it, and don't push myself too hard. If you having to tell yourself that occasionally, like, hey, just relax. I know it feels good, but I don't need to just lay it all out there every day.
I mean, even now when I get on the mound, I sometimes have thoughts and, like, I guess, I don't know the word, going through it again.
Kind of reliving it, in your mind. Yeah. I know it's always there in the back of your mind, but it's a catch-22, because you can't let it hinder you from being a great performer, but then you're also like, well, I don't want to push it too hard because I don't want to end up where I was before, which is an awful feeling.
I'm sure Coach Brady, like you're talking about, he's probably letting you know, like, hey, you got to trust the surgery. You got to trust your rehab. You got to trust your body, right?
Yes, sir. I think he's had 2 knee surgeries, so he's been there, done that, and he was very helpful to me and encouraging to me throughout the rehab process.
Brady was a great high school player at BA. I covered him winning state championships out there on some really good teams. And, he's a guy that knows the league well. He played at Jones. He played at Co-Lin. So let's talk about the quality of baseball in the MACCC. Somebody told me that Jones and East Central were going to play today. They got 2 stud pitchers going at it. They said they thought there would be 20 MLB scouts there watching those 2 pitch. If folks don't know it, there is some big-time baseball played at the JUCO level in Mississippi, right, Matt?
Yes, sir, there is. There is a variety of arms in the JUCO league here. So
and people like Pearl River and East Central that are at the mountaintop right now. Do you see a roster in Summit that's going to be improved in 2026? Tell me what the Bears are going to do well this year.
We're going to pitch. We're going to surprise a lot of guys on the mound this year, I think. It's going to come down to pitching, but I think we're going to do just fine in that because we got plenty of arms to do it.
Yeah, you got to have a bunch of arms. I know that from following Co-Lin last year. They had Wes White went out with an arm injury. Parker Ishii went out with an arm injury. Next thing you know, you think you got a bunch of pitchers, and now you're getting your right fielder to come in and give you a couple innings every game. But you think the depth of the bullpen is something you're bullish on as far as the Bears go, right?
Yes, sir. We're relying on a sophomore arm. His name's Nick Carney. I think he's got a shot to go far. He should go far, but we're relying on him heavy, and a bunch of other freshmen we're relying on. So,
what about the bats? Who's going to be a guy that's going to hit it well for Southwest this year?
I think Justin Damiano, he's from Hammond, Louisiana. I think he's definitely going to be a big impact for us. And we got a freshman, J.D. Hidalgo. He's from Louisiana. I think he's from New Iberia. And Cam Bolden, he's from New Orleans, Louisiana, too.
Yeah, hey,
Hold on, man. Stop shouting out Louisiana people.
No, that makes sense. Look, because you and I both know this. You're out-of-staters.
Yeah.
Brandon played JUCO football. You're out-of-staters. They got to be your moneymakers.
They got to be, yeah. Y'all ever have any banter back and forth, Mississippi guys versus Louisiana guys?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of trash talking for sure.
What do you guys do in the dorm? Like, you hang out together. You spend a lot of time together. Is it video games? Is it Call of Duty? Is it table tennis in the locker room? Do you hunt together? Tell me about the chemistry of this team.
It's poker.
Poker.
Yeah. For fun.
Yeah. Who's the
fun?
Well, that's cool, man. So you are playing Texas Hold'em. Who's the big card shark?
Tanner Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Tanner.
Shout out to Tanner Moore. Might see him on the World Series of Poker one day. Look, man. I mean, I just think you've got an awesome story, man, and I really appreciate you coming in and letting us talk about it today. And it's just a reminder to folks not only the fact that you were able to overcome the injury, but then also just to remind us that, like, hey, everybody who's the best player on the 8-year-old team, they might not be the best player when you get on up, and that's probably something you want to remind your own kids one day when you're a dad, that, like, hey, if you keep working, good things are going to come to you, right?
Yes, sir. I believe if you stay with something and you stick with it, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're going to end up where you're supposed to be in the end. So,
that's a great word. Well, look, Matt, it's been awesome having you on air with us, buddy. Your story is one that we can't wait to share with the people. You guys are going to be at home this weekend for a 3-game series against Mineral Area Community College out of Missouri. We were talking off air, and Matt said that the Mineral Area is pretty dang good. He's expecting to pitch maybe game 2, maybe game 3, depending on what Coach Edmondson wants to do. The Bears will host Mineral Area twice on Friday. First pitch of the doubleheader is at 2 p.m. Then they'll host a single game on Saturday with a noon start. We're about to throw it to a break, but before we do, I want to remind you that Y'all Sports Radio is sponsored by Brandon Shamataro State Farm Insurance. Brandon, we're talking about the team at Southwest with Matt. Had me thinking about the team you have at Brandon Shamataro State Farm. You're not doing it all by yourself, buddy. Tell the folks about your team at 106 South Whitworth.
Yeah, absolutely not. If everything ended and started with Brandon, we'd be in trouble. I have an outstanding team. They're looking forward to taking care of our new customers, but most importantly, we're not all about the new customer. We're about taking care of the ones that are already with us, and we do that at a high level. And that's just where we find our bread and butter, so to say. And just looking forward to a great 2026, taking care of our people and adding some more people to it.
Matt, thanks again for making time for us today, buddy. We'll be back one final segment of Y'all Sports Radio after this break.
Looking for the perfect, unique gift? Visit Juan's Seed Store at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven. Discover our stunning waxed amaryllis bulbs. Simply place and watch them grow. Soy lotion candles from Waveland Candle Company provide an eco-friendly clean burn and provide a moisturizing scented lotion when burning. Sippy Scents out of Pearl has created the most intense fragrances for detergents, cleaners, room sprays, and oils. Shop these selections and more today at Juan's Seed Store.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Give Sam Ballard a call at 601-669-5999 for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
That's a good one. We're back on Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Furr. I'm joined by my co-host, Brandon Shamatara. Y'all Sports Radio comes to you each week at Wednesday at 9 a.m. here on SuperTalk 102.1 FM. If you've been with us the entirety of this show, then you heard our conversation with Southwest Mississippi Community College pitcher Matt Newman. Big Matt, as he's called, is a 6'5" right-hander who signed with the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. He's got an awesome story about coming into his own late in his career, and I know I can't wait to keep up with Matt on his journey as it continues. If you joined us late, don't fear. You'll be able to hear our entire conversation later this week when this episode is published as a podcast. That podcast is brought to you in part by our friends at Juan Seed Store. Brandon, I was driving down Highway 84 the other night, coming back from a basketball game at Enterprise, and the new location of Juan Seed Store was sitting there like a shining city on a hill. It truly is an impressive sight to see on a dark night. I know you pass it all the time on your commute, right?
Yeah, pass it every day, and sadly, I haven't had the time because everything going on in life, right, to stop by there, but it's on my bucket list by the end of the week to stop by once. You can see everything they have outside between the deer stands and just everything they have to offer. It is shining out there off of Highway 84.
It looks great. Look, Guy and Paige Nelson have brought Juan Seed Store to Highway 84, and it's something to see. It's not an exaggeration to say they're adding new stock and new features to the store every single day. Juan Seed Store wants to be your destination for all things ag, all things feed, all things seed, all things hunting or recreation in Lincoln County. Check out the new location. It's at 636 Greenview Trail, easy to find there on Highway 84, and let them know you appreciate their support of Y'all Sports Radio. Look, we'll talk a little bit more about baseball here in a second, but man, I told you it was a good story. That's a pretty cool story. We just went over on that.
So good. And I'll just tell you guys, a young man that's got it all put together, like just in the first time meeting him, you can tell those things. Like you meet somebody out in public for the first time, you get a pretty good idea if they got it put together or not. Matt, outstanding young man, and definitely does. And let me tell you this. So I shook his hand as he entered earlier today, and I've got big hands, Cliff. All right, I got big hands as a center. Those were essential to snap the ball, get it to the quarterback. Matt's hand wrapped around mine.
He's got some.
That's
mitts.
Intimidating. I don't ever want to shake Matt's hand again.
Yeah.
All right, but you know that he can wrap his fingers around that baseball and absolutely sling it. I remember him in high school, just great pitcher, did an outstanding job, and so glad, Cliff, that he's coming back from this surgery because some people don't. Some people don't come back, and we talked about the mental side of it. Sometimes it can be so hard on a young man or even a man to come back from something like that because of all the rehab that it takes and all the work that has to go into it. And just to see somebody who we love success stories, Cliff, and that's one thing you hang your hat on is stories and success stories. And Matt is just, man, I'm so encouraged by him because I know he's going to do so well. Number one, the future. I'm excited about his future, but I'm encouraged about the work that he put in to come back from Tommy John's and just the future, man. Matt is such a great young man.
Yeah, and I was keeping up with his journey to Southwest, and I saw that he got redshirted last year, and I figured it was an injury. I guess I'd forgotten that he had that Tommy John surgery after completing his high school career. And you're right, Brandon. I think blowing your arm out in your last game of your high school season could be a mental hurdle that some folks can't get over. But he just seems to be cut from the correct type of cloth to get through that. And then when I heard that he was going to Louisiana Tech, I was like, hold up. This kid hasn't even pitched in a JUCO game, so that tells you, that word potential. It can be a cross to bear for some that they can't get past, but for others, it can be a good sign of just how great their future is in athletics. And I think Matt Newman is a kid that is filled with potential. And you heard it. He pitched in a sophomore showcase, and he's not even off the mound yet, and he's got State and Ole Miss and people like that blowing his phone up, being like, hey, man, we want to know a little bit more about you. So I'm excited to keep up with his career for sure.
I used to tell my players, Cliff, you know what they said about the young man who had a ton of potential but didn't do the things necessary in order to excel with the potential that he had. And the players would look at me and they say, what? He had a lot of potential.
That's right.
And so having potential is one thing, but you've got to have it right between the ears, and you got to put it to work in the weight room, in the training facilities. And when you do those things, then you can take your potential and absolutely excel. Can't wait to watch Matt.
Yeah, and we talked to Colin softball last week. Colin baseball is getting things started today. They're playing right now. Avery Griffin, a high school teammate of Matt's, that is a very good shortstop there at Colin. Can't wait to watch him play. I know Avery went on a visit to Murray State back in November. I've got to give a shout out to my guy James O. Covington, who's a baseball agent. He's out of Franklin County. He's a friend of mine. I was just asking James O, hey, who are some guys locally, baseball guys? And some of them I knew about, guys like that are seniors like Tucker Kaiser at Bogachita. He signed with East Central, and if you know anything about East Central baseball, they're really, really good right now.
Yeah.
Trip McCaffrey, a senior at Bogachita, who signed with Colin. And then you've got a guy that we interviewed on Y'all Sports last week, Caleb Odama, the most mispronounced last name because it's spelled A-U-T-H-E. I don't even think James spelled it right here. It doesn't look like Odama. It looks like Othmanton.
How tall is Caleb?
He's probably right around like 6 foot or so. He's solid, man.
Yeah.
He's like Matt. He's
good looking.
Yeah, they call him Big Country, and key on big.
You don't get called Big Country by being a small
a little
fella.
weakling. Yeah. You get called Big Country in high school.
Somebody eats like Matt a lot of steak and gravy and mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Shout out to the
Southwest Dining Hall, baby.
Yeah, that was a great advertisement for them for sure. And Brookhaven Academy got a transfer from Franklin County that a lot of people are excited about. He's a 6'3", 180-pound junior pitcher named Carter Spring. James O was letting me know that he is throwing in the 90s, and he is committed to sign with Jones Junior College, just like Caleb has as well. And then looking at baseball players around the state as far as the JUCO league goes, I mean there's just tons and tons of talent. I'm telling you what, if you get a chance to go watch Colin and Southwest play, you can pick anybody they're playing against. It doesn't matter. Maybe other than Kahoma. No offense to Kahoma. They usually go about 1-23. But anybody other than that, you're going to show up and you're going to watch some really top level. I mean, Pearl River won a national championship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that tells you all you need to know right there. A
lot of talent in the junior college league, not just in football, baseball. Man, just the level of talent that comes out of high school. What's surprising to me, and again, we stated this earlier, I didn't grow up a baseball guy, all right, just because it wasn't there. It wasn't part of my journey.
Yeah.
That's okay. I grew to really appreciate it as time went on. But the reality is that so many young men have the stuff, quote unquote, to be next level players, Division I top tier players, but then you see them in the junior college ranks, and I haven't quite figured that out. This kid throws 93 mile an hour. What's preventing him from being an Ole Miss or an LSU guy? Is it because there's so many outstanding players? I don't know the answer.
Well, I'll tell you, there are metrics that they are size
it's a
metrics.
Science,
yeah, it is. It is a science. I'll tell you a fun story. This is a local sports story. You guys might know my dad, Bobby Furr. He's been a logger for 50 years here in Lincoln County, and he was telling me about a local player once, a local baseball player, and he was like, "Hey, have you heard about so-and-so?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've seen him, Dad. I'm the local sports editor. I've seen him. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good little hand." And he's like, "He's hitting home runs all over the park like Babe Ruth." He said, Mississippi State and Ole Miss have got to be looking at him. And I'm like, "No, Dad, he's going JUCO." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "He's going JUCO." And I was like, "How?" And I'm like, "Well, he's 5'9", And so doesn't matter how hard he can hit it, they have these right or wrong. They have these things that they're looking for, and he didn't believe me, but the kid went on and had a good JUCO career, and he wound up being a good JUCO baseball player. And
Does it have to do with strike zone? I mean, surely not, because the 5'9" guy should have anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, and the thing I tried to tell my dad was this, like, hey, if State and Ole Miss thought he was good enough, they'd have been talked to when he was a 10th grader. I mean, it comes early, but then it also comes late for folks that are late bloomers like Matt. And I was thinking about, there's a guy at Southeastern Louisiana. He's out of North Pike. His name's Alex Perry. Alex Perry's got a pretty cool story. Redshirted last year at Tennessee, but he started his career at Pearl River Community College. Here's a guy from Summit, Mississippi, who's got 2 national championship rings. He won a national championship ring at Pearl River on the JUCO level, and then he won one at Tennessee.
Wow.
So you can start here and go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the message of y'all sports.
Just because you go to junior college out of high school doesn't mean that you're not a very good player. And I think that's the point we're trying to get across, is that there's a ton of talent in this league, and probably they don't play in front of the most fans, but I'm just telling you, go watch a game, and you can tell when that ball hits the glove. Go watch a high school game the day before, and go watch a junior college game the next day, and when that ball hits the glove, it sounds like an explosion going off.
If you think your kid is good enough to play JUCO anything, you got to go watch the games, because your opinion of what Meridian baseball looks like might be completely different than what actual reality is. So that's a good word, is, hey, go watch the games. Go watch Southwest. Go watch Matt. Go watch Colin. Go support our local community colleges. Brad and I are both huge fans. Got anything else you want to touch on, brother?
I've taken the approach as a dad is I want my kids to be well-rounded and play everything. Play everything you can. And I got this from Nick Saban because Nick Saban agrees, or that's his mentality. I agree with him that they play every sport they can play. And then I would say, come junior, senior year, if you see you're going to be a outstanding, maybe top tier, maybe then stop and specialize. But hey, local schools, especially in Lincoln County, because how small our county schools are, and then the academy, they need every male and female athlete to play all sports.
Like Coach Malia said last week, Boguchita, share that.
Exactly.
Look, we're up against the end of our show, but I want to say I talked to a guy once. He was the number 3 all-time high school basketball scorer in Indiana. And I said, how did you do that? And he said, I had a dad who took me and worked with me every day, but most importantly, he made it fun.
Yeah,
so if you're a dad out there trying to have the next Albert Pujols, make sure you make it fun for him. Look,
just like y'all sports.
That's right.
We make it fun.
We make it fun every single time. That's episode 3 of Y'all Sports Radio in the book. I want to thank my man Randy behind the board and our sponsors, Bank of Brookhaven, Toyota Brookhaven, Brandon Shamataro State Farm Insurance, and Juan Seed Store. Brandon, thanks as always for your support, brother. I'm Cliff Furr, and until next week, I'll see y'all on the sidelines of Southwest Mississippi.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.